Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, it makes night number 8 of my 9 nights of Navratri here on Matthew's Guyanese Cooking. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing an eggless sponge cake recipe. For all of you fasting during this period of Navratri or any other Hindu holidays, or just if you're allergic to eggs or want something different, this eggless sponge cake is definitely for you and it'll be a crowd pleaser. And being that this is the 8th recipe on my 9 nights of Navratri, this recipe is dedicated to the 8th form of Mother Durga known as Mahagauri. She represents divine beauty, integrity, and respect. Now, as you all can see, I am dressed up yet again, and I want to thank Kavita over at Lotus Bazaar for sponsoring this outfit and all of the other outfits that you saw in my 9 nights of Navratri. I'll have all of the information for Lotus Bazaar right down in my description box right below this video, so make sure you check all of that out. Address, contact info, as well as their social media. Make sure you're keeping up with their social media as well because they're always posting little updates and some of their new products that they have in stock. And if you want anything for men, such as this sherwani right here, anything for women, anything for kids, or accessories, please go ahead and check out Lotus Bazaar. You're gonna get quality items at a great price, and you're also gonna get great customer service. So we're gonna start off by mixing together the dried ingredients. In a bowl of all-purpose flour, I'm gonna be going in with some ground cardamom or elaichi. I'll also be going in with some baking powder. I'm also going to be going in with some salt. Whenever you bake anything sweet, you always need a little bit of salt to bring out all the sweet flavors. And I'm also going to be going in with some freshly grated nutmeg. If you wanted to use any other spices or flavorings, feel free to use whichever ones you like. And at this point, you're just going to mix together all of your dried ingredients until everything is combined, and you're going to set them aside. And now we're going to start working on the wet ingredients. So in a bowl, I've gone in with some softened butter, and I'm using unsalted butter today. And I'm also going to be going in with a little bit of vegetable oil. As usual, all of my ingredients and measurements will be left in the description box right below this video. And once you go in with the oil and that softened butter, you're going to whisk them together and fluff them up just a little bit until it is light and creamy and mixed together. After I beat this mixture with my whisk for about 4 to 5 minutes, you're going to see that it gets nice and creamy, it's nice and light, and it's also a little bit fluffy. If you wanted to use a hand mixer for this, you can do that as well. But directly on top of this, I'm going to be going in with some condensed milk. What the condensed milk is going to do for this recipe is it's going to add a nice richness to the recipe, and of course it's going to be our source of sweetness. I'm not adding in any sugar, I'm just using condensed milk. And once you get that condensed milk added in, you're just going to mix it until everything is well combined. And once all of your wet ingredients are mixed together, you're going to go ahead and sift in that flour mixture that we had mixed up before. Now if you wanted to, you could have sifted all of the ingredients before you mix them together, but sometimes I just like to go ahead and mix everything and then sift it right into the wet ingredients. And at this point, you're going to go ahead and fold all of the wet ingredients into the dried ingredients. And you're just going to do this with any type of silicone spoon or spatula that you have. I recommend not using a mixer for this part because if you use the mixer, it might overbeat this cake. And being that the cake doesn't have eggs, it might end up being a little more tough and a little more dry. So make sure you only fold it in slightly. And once you mix in all of the wet and dried ingredients, you're going to be going in with some boiling hot water. And what this boiling hot water is going to do is it's going to create steam in the oven. And that steam is going to help keep that cake super rich and super moist. And that is exactly what you want. So once you go in with that water, just fold it in until it's well combined. And this right here is the last step that's going to give the cake a nice fluffiness, and it's going to keep the cake very tender. In a little bowl here, I have some vinegar, and I'm going to be going in with some baking soda. As you all can see, whenever you mix baking soda with an acidic ingredient such as vinegar, and you add it into cakes or other baked goods, it makes for a very fluffy end product and it keeps it nice and soft. So just go ahead and mix your vinegar and your baking soda together, and then you're going to add it into your cake batter, and you're going to mix it together until well combined. And to me, no sponge cake of any kind is ever complete without a little bit of vanilla extract as well as some almond extract. So I've gone in with those 2 ingredients. If you want to use any other type of extract or essences that there are, feel free to go ahead and mix up the flavors. You can also even add in some orange zest or lemon zest. That would make for a very nice cake as well. And the last ingredient that I'm adding in is a couple of tablespoons of whole milk. If you didn't want to use whole milk, you could also use evaporated milk. You could even use coconut milk for this part. But what this is going to do is it's going to add even more moisture to the cake, and it's going to keep it nice and light. So I finished mixing my cake batter. It's nice and thick and it is perfect. Make sure you don't overmix it or you will end up with a very tough and dry cake. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and pour it into our greased cooking pan. This is a 9 by 9 inch square dish. and I've buttered and floured it very well so nothing sticks. Once you get the cake batter into the pan, you want to go ahead and smooth out the top until it is perfectly smooth, and at that point you can go ahead and pop it into your oven that you've preheated at 350 degrees, and you're going to bake it for about 25 to 30 minutes. Now the baking time is going to depend on your oven. It's also going to depend on the size of pan that you use. Just make sure that after around the 20-minute mark, you start to check it with a toothpick. If the toothpick comes out clean, you know the cake is done, and if it is still wet on the inside, then you know you need to bake that cake a little longer. So my cake baked for about 30 minutes in my oven. Again, the time may vary, so just make sure you keep on checking it. Once a toothpick is inserted and it comes out clean, then you know it's done. But after it comes out of the oven, I went ahead and I let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes until it was nice and warm only. And at this point, you can take it out of the pan like I did, and then you can start to cut it. And let me tell you something, everyone, this cake was super fluffy, it was super soft, and you did not miss the eggs at all. It was the perfect eggless sponge cake. Alright everyone, so as you all can see, making that eggless sponge cake was so much easier than baking a regular cake for some reason. It came together in no time, and of course we ended up with such a nice, fluffy, and flavorful end product. So I just want to show you all exactly what this sponge cake looks like. It is super fluffy, nice and soft, has a nice little crumb to it. And when you rip it apart, it's not super tough at all. It's not dry. Perfect. This sponge cake, absolutely delicious. Trust me, give this recipe a try. You can even make this into like an eggless birthday cake. All you have to do is make it in a circular pan, cut some layers. You can frost it. So many things that you can do with this. This right here is such a nice simple cake in a blank canvas. If you wanted to have it with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, it's perfect. Or you can decorate it, add an icing, add anything. It'll be absolutely amazing. So if you enjoyed this eggless sponge cake recipe as much as I did today, please go ahead and give it a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet. And of course, drop those comments down below and let me know what you would like to see next on my channel. And once again, if you're interested in purchasing an outfit like this for men, women, kids, or accessories, then please go ahead and check out Lotus Bazaar. All of their information will be in the description box right below this video, so make sure you check them out and stay tuned for tomorrow for my 9th night of my 9 nights of Navratri. Bye everyone.